Okay. So once again, welcome everyone, and thank you all for attending the meeting and for obviously joining the club, joining the committee. We had a tremendous response this year. I thank our communications department for helping us with that. They put together a like a flyer, and it went out to the community as a whole through a lot of different avenues, and we had a tremendous response. And I'm excited to say that we've had a lot of student participation, as I see many faces that look like students out there. So welcome aboard. We value your participation and your input, and we will get to see and listen to some of your thoughts on things that you'd like to see throughout the district. So as you can see on the agenda, the first thing up is introductions. Because of the size of our group and our limited amount of time, I'm not going to go around the room, but I would just ask that if you decide to share an idea or a thought, that you just kind of, when it's your turn, you can unmute and then just announce like who you are, if you're a student, if you're a parent, if you're a board member, teacher, administrator, whoever. And that way we kind of know who's talking. And then I'm going to start by introducing myself. My name is David Statlander, and my job in the district is I'm the supervisor of secondary health, phys ed, and athletics. And my co-chair people on the wellness committee are Lisa Ostrowski, who's the director of food services, and Alex Clements, who is her assistant. And I know they're on here, and I don't know. I see Alex is on. Lisa, are you on there with her in the same?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, we're both in
Yeah.
the room.
All right, just so everybody can put a face to a name. Thank you. All right, so the three of us kind of get together and work out some of the details behind the scenes. But ultimately, the wellness committee is it comes down to what you guys are bring to it. We try to line up different speakers and presenters who we know of that are doing various things throughout the district via our roles, whether it be a health educator, food services, physical education, and we really want to get a wide cross section, community members, building administrators. It is challenging. We understand as some of our elementary folks that are out there with your schedule and when we do the meetings, we try to make it as accessible as possible to as many people as possible. But it's tough because if we go too late, then we're going to lose all the high school folks, and then the middle school folks have a different time. They get out around 3. And so unfortunately, we do it is tough for the elementary folks. So we are cognizant of that. And, over the years, switching to the Zoom format has actually helped with participation because it does obviously take people time to get to one location. And so when COVID happened and we all kind of became Zoom experts overnight, it allowed us an opportunity to use the platform. And also, as I mentioned in my email, it allows us to record it and then share it out to the broader community. And then sometimes we'll get follow-up questions, emails, comments, thoughts, all that good stuff. So that's kind of how we got to be where we are. So, I kind of like to go through at the beginning and just kind of talk to you about, what is wellness committee and why do we do it? So as I mentioned, students, staff, parents, community members working together to enrich the health and well-being of everyone in our district. Our goal is to create an environment where healthy lifestyles are encouraged and accessible, enabling our students and staff to thrive in all aspects of their life. We want to promote healthy lifestyles, develop wellness programs and initiatives, collaborate with local organizations and health professionals, implement innovative ideas, and we need you guys so that you can make a difference and learn and grow and connect and shape programs and be a voice. Last year, we ended up forming some subcommittees, and those folks worked on some of the initiatives that were identified during our meetings. And, we try as the co-chair people of this to get those to participate in those subcommittee events. And ultimately, though, it does come down to the membership kind of running with an idea and taking on the ownership, and then we can share out to the greater community. So we are obviously available and want to help with facilitating, and if there's any resources we can provide, and to get ideas off the ground. We have a collective shared knowledge between us. So we're pretty good with getting some things going. So as you can see in tonight's agenda, we're going to get updates from food services, some from part of our PE and athletics program, some of our elementary principals and health teachers. And then, you will have an opportunity today and moving forward to share your thoughts and ideas and initiatives. And, we can do that through a few ways. I've put out some forms, so we can do that again. We can talk about them when we're in person, because a lot of times, ideas are great, but really it's the discussions and how to get to bring things to fruition that really are important. So ideas are good, but we obviously want to figure out a way to make them come to life. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over for a little while to Lisa and Alex from Food Services, and they're going to give us some updates on what's been going on in their department.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alex. I'm the Assistant Food Service Director. So I'm going to give some of the updates, and then I'm going to pass it to Lisa. So for those of you who don't know, the last year, we participated in a farm to school program. It was a year-long professional development program here at the high school. So that finished up in May. We had a great team of me, Lisa, Amber Koss, who is our new farm to school facilitator, woo woo, and also Erica McGowan, who's not here anymore, Patty Comas, John Barker, who's the farmer from Forts Ferry Farm, who has been awesome. But so just to kind of keep that going, we applied for a different program within the Northeast Farms to Institute. So we started that here again at the high school, but we also have another program running with the New York State Farm to Institute at Blue Creek. So you're probably like, what does that necessarily mean? These programs focus on cafeteria classroom community connection. So we've got great teams going that have goals for their different disciplines. Specifically in food service this year, we're working on improving our New York Thursdays that we run in the cafeteria monthly, and just making them better, making sure that we could get those local products in the cafeteria. And then also focusing on the harvest of the month. So every month we focus on a different fruit or vegetable, and then we're going in the cafeterias and we're sampling them with the kids. And then after the samples happen, we have that menu item on the menu. So hopefully the goal is the kids try it when we do the samples. Me and Amber have been going to the different cafeterias, and then they like it. Hopefully some of the kids do and don't. It's kind of funny to see their reaction, and really exciting when they do like it. So for September, we did tomatoes. We had a cherry tomato and corn salad. We sampled that at Southgate and Loudonville. October, we had apples. So we did an apple coleslaw, which was, the tomatoes were from Hillard's, which is right in Latham. And the apples were from Yonder Farms, which is a local New York farm. The apples we sampled at Blue Creek and Latham Ridge. And then this month, for November, we're doing Brussels sprouts. And tomorrow I'm sampling them at the Shaker Middle School. So, I mean, wish me good luck. I hope they don't throw the Brussels sprouts at me. But it's a roasted Brussels sprout with maple and balsamic. It's super cool. We got a New York Brussels sprout, and then we also got New York maple syrup from Crosstown Maple. So I'm super excited about that. And then next month is winter squash. So we got some squash from Hudson Headwater and also from Forts Ferry Farm. So really trying to get some more local produce right in the cafeteria. So like I said, the kids try it. Hopefully they like it. Maybe they never had that item before, and then they go home and tell their parents that they want to have it at home, which is like all the goals. But that's kind of where we're at. We also did participate, obviously, in the Fall Family Festival, which I don't know if Amber's still on here, if she wants to talk anymore about that, but we highlighted the apple coleslaw that we had for the harvest of the month there, and people really liked it. So it's kind of all those connections. But yeah, we're just moving along with the farm to school, and we're really trying to do some cool stuff in the cafeteria to get more participation and people more engaged in food services. And here's Lisa to tell us about our new grant that we just got.
If Alex, can I just pause for 1 second?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Nope, no problem. We got a great audience tonight, and I just wanted to invite anybody that might have any comments or questions about the food table.
I just said wrap those Brussels sprouts in bacon. Then kids later. Trust me. Trust me.
Yeah, do it at home. I'm trying to, I gotta watch the sodium, the fat, the sugar, all the things. There's a lot of things that go into, this is a good segue. There's a lot of things that go into school lunch that I don't think a lot of people know about. We have a lot of restrictions. So like not putting a lot of salt in these things and then getting kids to try them. I'm just saying, like in like processed foods, obviously that stuff has a lot of that kind of thing in it. So we're trying to make it exciting with fresh flavors. No bacon, okay? There's no bacon. But yeah, please wish me good luck with the Brussels sprouts. I mean, I love them, but I know that middle schoolers not necessarily. But
I think they'll be great. You roast them, a little bit of seasoning, they're delicious.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Any other thoughts, students? What do you think of Brussels sprouts? Don't forget to unmute if you're going to talk. All right.
Is there anybody out there has like certain things they want to see for produce on the menu?
Oh, great
They're
question.
really passionate about?
And if you're shy, you could always type it into the comments too.
Yeah.
I mean, the oranges that they have are good sometimes.
Yeah, unfortunately, no New York oranges, right? They're mostly coming from the South, but yeah, we try to do as much fresh when we can. It's hard being in the Northeast getting fresh produce, but when we can get stuff, we got a lot of apples. We're the apple state, obviously, but yeah, we love to get the oranges when they're in season too.
All right, thank you. Send it to Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I'm the food service director. Just to kind of piggyback a little bit on what Alex just said, just kind of give you this local farmers. She said that we just crossed town maple, so we have a New York maple syrup provider, some other vendors, farmers that we've been working with. All along, we've been working with Forts Ferry Farm. Locally, we're working with Hilliard's Farm. I believe they have some grandchildren in the district, and we were able to purchase some cabbages and a lot of tomatoes at the beginning of school, and some eggplant and zucchini and squashes. So really fresh vegetables there. We're also working with a very local beef farmer up in Washington County, Kilcoyne Farms. The burgers the beef hamburgers that we're getting are coming from them. So we are really kind of reaching out. Our milk is 51% New York milk. So in our farm, our produce purveyor also is Daigle or Dagley, and that is down in Florida, New York. And they are both a produce house, but also a big farm. And we're working with them as well. We're also just coming up in December we're working with a food manufacturer right here in Albany. And we're getting a sunrise waffle that is going to be on the menu in December throughout the district. And it is made primarily from New York carrots, actually. And it has a really good flavor. And we're putting it out there just as a waffle with yogurt and that type of thing in December. And then we're going to see if there's other ways that we could use it. It is a grain equivalent, a vegetable equivalent, and there is also a meat alternate equivalent in the waffle. So we're really excited to bring that about, especially since it's made locally here in Albany County. So those are some things with product that are coming up or that we're doing. So I think we need to give a shout out to all of our local farmers for jumping on the farm to school bandwagon, so to speak. So before I move on to anything else, so Alex was talking about the grants that we have, or we had, and what we're doing. We did actually, with the help of our farm to school facilitator, Amber, and John Barker from Forts Ferry Farm, we applied for a grant through New York State Ag and Markets, which we won, which is awesome, to the amount of a little over $99,000. The grant goes over a 2-year period. Some of the things that we put into the grant were equipment, consultations with chef, from miscellaneous. There's a big portion to bring the farm into the classroom. So we're really excited over these next 2 years to actually be, number one, spending the money and having the money to spend to increase our program and the food selections that we could offer the students, and looking at equipment, especially going into the capital project with the high school, what kind of equipment we really need to be able to produce some farm fresh foods that are not at quite so convenient. So that's kind of our whole farm to school spiel. Aside from that, October, as always, is actually National School Lunch Week, as a week in October. This year it had kind of a pirate theme. So our middle school cafeteria manager, Jerry Hess, she invited Senator Jake Ashby to join us for lunch on that day, on a day which was Thursday, which also was Hunger Solution of New York's social media day. So Senator Ashby came. He didn't have anything else on his calendar. He had lunch with a group of middle school students. We were very excited for them. And he spent a lot of time both eating lunch and also signing autographs for other middle schoolers. During the process of having lunch with the students, they were able to articulate why New York State should have free meals for all moving forward, not just community eligibility as we are in now, but moving forward, and what it means to them and their peers to be able to participate in the school meal program. So it was it was an awesome day. I think that's kind of all we got. Oh, as far as our menu selections, certainly for all the students on there, if you're in Shaker High, you could always drop by our office and talk to us if there's something that you care to work with or work through with us. We have started, again, we're increasing the amount of vegetarian dishes on our menus as best we can, or meat alternate dishes. Again, we have regulations that we have to follow, so we have to make sure that those guidelines are in, as well as we have increased our halal selections of across the board from elementary school to high school for those students who wish to partake in halal. And we've also done it across the board in many of the menus, that it's available for everyone to partake in. So we're very excited. As far as community eligibility, our meals are certainly the kids, again, across the board are participating in our program. I think we served in October over 86,000 lunches and 35,000 breakfasts, which of course, last year during October, we weren't participating in community eligibility or allowed to. So we are excited that we're still able to provide those meals from now until June of 2026. I hope in the meantime that we, between the state and the federal government, that we will see free meals for all as part of the school day. But let's hope, and we will keep you posted on any kind of legislative action that happens with that. Any questions on anything for me? Okay. Dave, I can't hear you if you're talking.
I got to practice what I preach. I said, if there's anybody that's more comfortable with typing it into the chat, feel free. But you know, I'm trying to look at everyone's faces just in case they're raising their hand or something, but it's hard to see everybody.
Please visit us. We would like your feedback.
Tell them where you're located.
Oh, where are we located? Where am I located? What is this
The
called?
CD lobby, right?
Yeah. 218? 219. What is it? C Hall lobby?
Like, I would think that's a CD, like where C and D come together.
Okay. I just know to go up the stairs, okay? That's all I know.
All right. I'm just taking one last look at people to see if anybody's talking before we move on. Well, thank you, Lisa and Alex. That was a lot. You guys have been busy doing good work. All right, so I'll keep my remarks relatively short because I have some other guests here that are going to be presenting. So as I said, I supervise health and athletics throughout the district. And, you know, one of the big things that I always mention at Wellness Committee is we have a very robust program, both some of them are before school, some of them are after, but for intramurals, you know, at the high school, there's morning intramurals, most days. Coach Getty puts out a schedule. After school, there's opportunities for team sports, net sports, fitness center. We have someone in the cardio room right now. We have someone in the pool right now. So there's lots of opportunities. So at the high school, you can speak to your phys ed teachers. At the middle school, they're running some programs right now. We have fitness center. We have some of those other things I just mentioned that they're running. Again, the phys ed teachers generally are the ones that do it, but we have some other faculty members that do it as well. But if you speak to your phys ed teachers, they can always point you in the right direction, or you can ask me. And at the elementaries, we have teachers running sections as well. So I'm going to send it over to Ryan Patry. Ryan is new to us at Shaker, but he's not new to the profession of physical education. He's got several years of experience coming in. And so he has hit the ground running, and he's got some programs that he's implemented at Latham Ridge, and he's here to tell us a little bit more about them.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ryan Patry. I'm a PE teacher over at Latham Ridge. Like Dave said, I'm new to North Colonie, and I'm new to the Health and Wellness Committee, but wanted to jump on here and kind of share what we're doing over at Latham Ridge. The first thing we're undertaking, along with Dave, is how we can implement a swim program into our elementary school. So we're in the beginning process of that to see what would go into it, transportations, what grade level it would be appropriate for. You know, and the reason we wanted to include swim, it's probably one of the few sports you can teach in school that can save your life. So we think it's important, besides the fact it's fun and it's health benefits, and it's really accessible to all types of different students. So we've been working with Dave, looking at what other districts are doing to kind of see where we're going to go, who we're going to include, how we're going to do it, and how we're going to utilize that high school pool. And we're starting at Latham Ridge and hopefully expanding it to more elementary schools. So we're working on that. Also over here at Latham Ridge, we added to our intramural program, our intramural programs before school for 4th and 5th graders. And we kind of just opened it up a little more by adding a running club. So K through 2nd come before school every other Wednesday and participate in a running club before school, where they track their laps and receive a popsicle stick for each lap and count their mileage. And then the 3rd through 6th graders come every Friday. So the little guys are every other and the older guys are every Friday. And we're hoping that they enjoy it, and it's a motivator for them to come to school, and, you know, teaches them all those intangibles like commitment and hard work and things like that. And we're really starting to reach out to the PTA here to see if we can get funds for trophies and a nice award ceremony at the end of the year. And we're really looking to make it into something cool. But we had about 119 kids show up. We're averaging about 90 a week coming to the club. So we can see that just starting to grow and take off next year, especially after an award ceremony at the end of the year, and the non-participants who aren't in the club see that. So that's pretty exciting. And then under the others headings, I think my teaching partner and I over here are really looking to shoot for the spring to do some kind of wellness week for Latham Ridge Elementary School. And whether it's like Move It Monday or mindful. Whoops. Did I lose you guys?
Nope, you're there.
Oh, sorry. Whether it's mindful Monday or Move It Monday, or we want to devote one day to getting enough sleep, so we have a PJ day for school to promote that, or Water Wednesday to promote hydration. So we're really starting to brainstorm what we can do for our whole school over here at Latham Ridge for a wellness week in the sometime in the springtime. So that's kind of what we're doing over at Latham Ridge.
Thank you.
No problem.
Any questions from the committee? Thoughts?
This is Sarah here. I think the Learn to Swim program is amazing. I think everyone should learn how to swim, and you have a pool. So I think it's a really awesome idea.
Yeah, and I'm familiar with that. I'm a aquatics director over the summer for a school called Wildwood Camp. So we use the Learn to Swim program, and it is great.
I always try to tell the students, like, you're going to be a parent one day too, and you want to go save your child.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just for you to swim too. It's like like you said, like Renata just said, like it's a lifelong skill. So it's great.
Yeah, and I'm excited because I've been in the district for 26 plus years, and when I first started, I was working in the Colonie Youth Center, did a summer enrichment program, and they had a robust Learn to Swim program. And so, it was a series of things over the years with facilities and renovations and all kinds of things, and it went by the wayside. And so, it's always been on my wish list. So, in talking with Ryan and some of our other department members, this is something that, we feel obviously could benefit all of our students. So, we're excited to try to get this up and running for the spring. Okay, let's go to Jerry Lynn if you're ready. Just remember to unmute.
Yep, thanks. So you've asked me to talk a little bit about today, Southgate's recent addition to our playground system. We have recently opened an adaptive playground. Our ribbon cutting is this Saturday at 2. You're all welcome to attend and get a feel for it. Bring your families, give it a try. We spent the last couple of years trying to put together the adaptive playground in honor of Pete Moralgia, who was a district coach and a PE teacher here at Southgate, who we lost a few years ago, far too early. And in Pete's honor and Pete's memory, and as a reflection of the work that Pete did here with our adaptive PE classes, we built the adaptive playground. So we have, we were lucky enough to get a grant from Phil Steck's office for the amount of $125,000, and we spent $124,987 to build the playground, and it is now up and running. It's a great addition to the playground structure that we already have, and the fact that it is fully adaptive and fully accessible, regardless of a student's physical abilities. It is wheelchair accessible. It has sensory components for students who have autism, and it's really just a multifaceted project, which we're really super proud of, and would welcome any of you to come have a look at it anytime, and to share with your families and let them know that it is here for their use as well.
Thanks, Jerry Lynn. I will definitely be there for that. Any Southgate students out there?
Currently? Or
No, I meant
typical,
like
but they're out
former-
there using it every day. Actually, we're using
that
it
might
every
be
day.
on the committee.
Oh, on the committee? No, I don't
Yeah.
think so. I don't see any.
All right. Well, thanks again. All right, let's go to Mr. Tercio at Blue Creek with some updates from Blue Creek. And I think Jen Moran is on here too, and she might be able to help with some of those things.
Sounds good. I'll start if that works. Hey, everybody. Chris Hircio, Blue Creek Elementary Principal. We got a bunch of things going on this year in terms of student wellness and trying to provide as many opportunities for students as possible. Mentioned earlier, we are part of the Farm to School initiative and institute. Our garden is expanding, which is very exciting. The fencing showed up yesterday and it's sitting out there. We're going to be expanding our garden quite a bit. We've been working with a local growing expert, uh, commonly referred to as farmers. He gave us some really good advice and guidance into our expansion, and we're going to be adding things like pawpaw trees, which I don't really know what they are, but they sound exciting. Apple trees, raspberries, strawberries, and reinventing the space that we currently have and making it bigger. So that's definitely like the biggest project we have going. We were able to get a couple of grants to help with this, so it's really exciting for it. We're really excited for it, and we're going to do some type of grand reopening in the spring when we have things that have started to take root and really are starting to produce some flowers or fruits. So that's probably the biggest thing. Some of the other things that we did this year, we did an all of the fish at the creek project. So we are a peaceable school, and every year we do some type of Peace Day project. And this year, every student in every grade level use some type of medium from art to create their own personalized fish. And we have 3 bulletin boards in our hallways, in each of our hallways, that were decorated as like 3D creeks with the waters like coming out of the wall, and it's really cool. But then every one of our students' fish are in the creek because we are all part of the creek and we're all swimming throughout the creek. So that was a really fun thing for students to do. And we did use celery for some of the for the kindergartners. Sorry, announcement. We used, there was paint used. There's all kinds of different mediums used, but they ended up looking really awesome in our hallways. We are also doing our Dove Awards every month with the guidance counselors. Character traits, teachers are selecting students who are showing that trait throughout the month, and they are our Dove winners, and they're acknowledged at every monthly assembly. We got a lot going right now. We're currently doing a candy drop for our veterans. So if you're like me, we had way too much candy from going trick-or-treating with the kids. So we have 3 boxes already full of donated candy for our troops, and we'll be sending those out shortly, or I think next week. For Veterans Day, we had some veterans in the building doing a high five line for the kids. So that was really good for the community members, but also our students getting to see some people in uniform, which was pretty cool. And then the other 2 other things I'll mention. We recently did a food drive. We called it, Striking Out Hunger at the Creek. We raised 1,493 food items that were donated. The winning class got a pizza party. And I don't know if you've seen Facebook, but we also selected 2 students at random to pie me in the face as a bonus, as a bonus reward for earning the most amount of food for our school. And aligned with that, right around the same time we were finishing that up, I was notified that we are the recipients of a $10,000 grant for the food bank. So really excited to be able to take care of our families that are in need this year. Really, really, really stoked about that. And then the last thing I'll mention, in addition to the garden, I'm partnering with some high school students that are doing some projects for the Boy Scouts or to become Weeblos or whatever it might be, or just students looking to do community service. We have one student who is creating a little library for right outside the garden. So he's designed it, they've built it. We're going to have our 5th graders paint it, and we're going to install that in the spring once the ground thaws. In addition to that, we're also looking to do alternative seating outside for library and having hammocks in some of the green spaces that we have where 2 or 3 students could sit on a hammock and read books, and just trying to make it a really welcoming outdoor space for not just our students during the day, but also the community in the evening. And I mean, there's more stuff. Jen, do you want to talk about the bike program that we're looking into and still trying to figure out?
She just mentioned she had to go to bus duty, so maybe you and I can talk a little bit about it, and if she comes back before we're done, she can elaborate. But basically, what she shared with me is that they she's been working with the Saratoga Shredders, I believe it's called, which is a bike club out of Saratoga that she's active with. And she applied for a grant and was awarded $5,000 towards the purchase of some, elementary school student sized bicycles. And the plan is to have them stored at Blue Creek and to run a program there. And I believe there was some additional funding that she was working to secure because 5,000, albeit very nice start, I believe wasn't going to cover the costs of all the bikes as well as the rack that we need to have to hang them. I don't know if you had any other information about it, Chris.
Yeah, it's focused on our younger grades, K and 1. It's like all kids bike, I believe, or yeah, something like that. That's the name of it. It's the total cost is $9,000, but it does come with the balance bikes, and there's a whole unit and curriculum that is provided throughout for that cost. We have it perpetually. We don't have to keep paying for it. We did. It was actually a donation that we were given, but we're still going through the logistics and legality pieces because can't be that easy. It's got to be a little bit more difficult. There's got to be red tape. But we are hoping to get that prior to the winter, like the real winter settling in here. So we can get those up and going in the winter and have our little ones be able to balance on a bike for our springtime bike ride that we do every year. We shut down the parking lot area and we set up cones and kids ride their bikes around the parking lot every year in the spring. So we're looking to hopefully have that up and run before that event, or we can even use those bikes at the event. So hopefully we get there this year. I know there's some logistical things that we have to figure out, but also some of the money pieces are things that are way beyond my comprehension. So no, hopefully we get that going though. That's the plan.
Thanks, Chris. And I just brought up her slideshow. I can't do it justice, but I did see here that I think you should be seeing as well. It's $9,000 for the cost, of which, as you said, we had a donation of 5, and I think that there's some things in the works to get the additional money necessary. But thank you so much. Lots of good things. And Amber Mackey, our cost is usually a part of active member of the wellness committee. I know she's a little under the weather. I don't think she's on. But one other thing that was mentioned was that Amber went over to Southgate and did a project with the 4th graders where she planted tulips. So Jerry Lynn had shared that as well. And I should mention too, I threw out the Jen
I
Moran.
just want to give her all of the props that she deserves.
Yes, absolutely. And she's been fantastic in her role, and we'll definitely have her on at a future meeting to talk about the composting projects and some of the other wonderful things she's got going on. I just don't want to do it a disservice, but I don't think I mentioned it before, but Jen Moran is our elementary health teacher, just so people have an idea of who she is. She just had to step out to bus duty.
Is that who's doing the bike project with you, Chris? Jen Moran?
Yep. All right. So, before I move on, I just wanted to, again, put it out. We've had some comments in the chat, but is there anybody, don't be shy. As I said in my email, the success of this committee is based on membership participation. So feel free to ask questions or make comments. Julian Ruddy, I think your hand is up. Yep.
Hi. Jillian, I'm a new aide at Blue Creek. I just wanted to mention to Chris, I run a dance studio, and I was thinking maybe it could be a cool option to do like a learn to dance program at Blue Creek. And I was thinking even like I have a bunch of high schoolers at my studio. Maybe we could get those kids involved too to help with the little kids. Just a thought of something to get the kids moving.
I pretty much say yes to everything. So let's talk more about logistics and let's see if we can. I mean, that's an awesome idea. And it's another interest of many of our students, and anything that we can do to make sure students are feeling welcome and part of our building, like that, I'm all for it. So let's work on some logistics.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, and Jillian, I would say include me in that, and I can get our phys ed teachers involved as well.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Thanks.
Good. This is what it's all about, people. So if you got something, don't sit on it. Bring it up. All right. I don't see anybody other, chomping at the bit. So I'm going to move on. So, this is, today's meeting was, you know, obviously the first one, and it gives you a little sense of what we do. We bring in people that we know of that are doing things. We kind of point people in a direction, or you point us in a direction, and we try to facilitate different things. In future meetings, you know, we're always looking for people that want to speak. I have a meeting tomorrow with a couple of students. I don't know if they're on here, but who are have a health and wellness related project that they're working on, or initiative at the high school. So probably have more to follow up with, and possibly have them give a presentation at a future meeting. Our health education teachers at the middle school are looking to do a presentation on some of the curricular work that they've been doing. As I mentioned before, Amber will be on, talking about some of the things she's doing. And then I will send out the form to the 90+ people that are on our list now to, you know, both get feedback, ideas, but also, that's how we kind of create smaller committees that can kind of tackle some of these ideas. Because, you know, it's not a job for any one person. So it definitely takes membership to make these things come to fruition. Renata had asked a question about, you know, adults and fitness, and you know, that's something that we've, you know, going about mostly through continuing education, but I've seen emails that, like, from the middle school, that there was a teacher took it upon themselves to do a step challenge earlier in the year. So, you know, that's something that, you know, it's a great idea. And I would say that we can, you know, look to, if there's people that wanted to take something like that on, I would love to see it. You know, most people have smartphones or fitness tracking apps of some kind, so it's a lot easier than it used to be. You know, it's not just pen and paper now. So, you know, could be a student-led initiative as well. You know, we've got a very good, strong physical education department and health education department, and, you know, we love stuff like that, especially when it's student driven. All right. If anybody has any closing thoughts, now's the time. You can always email me after the fact. And as I said, I will get a form out to people so that, you know, we can hear from people after the fact. Otherwise, have a
Hi,
great
Dave.
evening. Okay, Nikki,
Hi,
thank you.
it's Nikki. I'll share something just really quick. Hi, I'm Nikki Blatnick. I am one of the family and consumer sciences teacher at the high school. And my students, as well as Morgan Armstrong, she's also on the chat. I just wanted to put our 2 cents in. We are doing a lab this week. They just finished their unit learning about influences on food choices. And a big portion of that goes into looking at food insecurity within our own community. So we look at global food issues as well as community issues. And our students are actually this week, today and tomorrow, are baking banana bread. And then we are going to donate it to local shelters and organizations around our area. So right here in our community, to give our students that opportunity to give back to those in need. And we discuss a whole bunch of things like, you know, there are people right here sitting in class with you who may not know where their next meal is coming from. So it really opens up an awesome discussion with our kids. And I think they really enjoy being able to give back to their community. So I think we're going to end up, between Morgan and my class, a lot of banana bread. I want to say like 40 loaves. So then we did a unit or an activity. They got to explore various organizations around like the Capital Roots Project, the Capital City Rescue Mission, the Free Food Fridge Albany, that's a tongue twister. And then we also work with the Side Out Foundation a lot. So our kids are getting to learn about these organizations and kind of do their part in giving back to our community. So it's really great. So that's the food side. I'm definitely food side too, as well as fitness. I'm a volleyball coach too. So Renata, I'm here for you. I love the idea of the walk club. So I'm interested in expanding on that a little bit, or something of that nature. All right, that's all I got.
Thank you, Nikki. We really always appreciate your contributions and all the hard work you do. And I'm looking forward to this end of the building benefiting from the smell of the odor of cooking banana bread. It'll be a drastic improvement from what it usually smells like. And we'll
overcome
definitely,
the Brussels sprouts though.
yes, Brussels sprouts, they don't necessarily smell great, but I personally think they taste great. Just got to get past the smell.
They're not on the menu until next week, but we're doing the sampling tomorrow at the middle school. So if you're at the middle school, beware.
Oh, I will be. All right, everybody. Well, thanks so much, and look forward to hearing from you and to continuing our work together and getting started. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.